Motorways. Love them or loathe them, they help us get cross-country from city to city, and it's often the fastest way to do long journeys. Even if you're going on a short trip, it often does help going a couple junctions up rather than using a local A or a local B road. But which is the busiest motorway in the UK? Now, I've done a lot of videos when it comes to traffic and congestion and which is the busiest city in terms of traffic in the UK, which are the busiest countries. I really like doing these because there's some interesting stats when it comes to these, and often they do help shatter the preconceptions that people have, but sometimes the answer is a relatively obvious one, and I think the answer is a relatively obvious one to this question in the UK, but I'll get onto that pretty soon. Let's have a look at some of the busiest areas of road in the UK when it comes to motorways. So for those that don't know, motorways in the UK, they are any road that have the M prefix. Some, for example, A roads are very busy. You get some like around Bradford, just the A650, which I know all too well, the A620 as well, which is also in this sort of area. That's a really bad one. Cardiff's A48 is also named as being some of the worst too on top of that. And Edinburgh's A720 up in Scotland is also named as one of the busiest A roads in the UK, but they're not motorways. They might be 70-mile-an-hour roads, dual carriageways, but they're not motorways. Motorways are the M roads. So which are the busiest motorways in the UK? Well, some of the ones that are named here, or at least the certain sections of the busiest motorways in the UK, are the M6, both around Leicester and Birmingham, and also up into Preston because it's a very long road. The M62 in Leeds, which doesn't surprise me at all. I go there all the time. That seems par for the course there. The M62 in general for you guys is the second busiest motorway in the UK. It goes all the way from Hull in the east over to Liverpool in the west, and I can absolutely attest to it because I use it several times a week. It is a horrible road to use, but it is a necessary evil to get around both Lancashire and Yorkshire. Just a fact of life up here, basically, simple as that. Other really busy motorways include the M60, 61 and the M62 and the M65, also all around Manchester. That big ring road is, again, part of it is the M62. It is so difficult to get around. There is always traffic there. But people who know the UK will not be surprised by the fact that it's another ring road, another motorway, the M25, that is the busiest motorway in the UK. That shouldn't come as a surprise at all, really. The M25, for those that don't know, is effectively the ring road for London, and it's kind of used as an unofficial barrier for what is London and what is not London. Around 250,000 cars use the M25 every single day in the UK on average, and that can go up depending on things like weekend traffic, things like holiday traffic, things like rush hour being particularly bad. And in fact, despite being a 70-mile-an-hour road, it's not uncommon to get queues of up to 6 miles on the M25, and queues basically being a part of life for around 7.5 hours a day during the working day, from 9 a.m. or even before 9 a.m. more like 7 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. I have used the M25, and I used it must have been about 7, 8 o'clock at night, and the traffic was horrendous even at that time. So yeah, avoid at all costs basically, but at least you don't have to pay congestion charge to use it. That's the one thing. That's one of the very few areas of London where you can get away with that. But yeah, although I imagine Londoners basically say the same thing that I say about the M62. It is a necessary evil. It's a fact of life. You gotta use it even if you hate it. It's the fastest way to go, even if you're going very slowly. But there we go, guys. The busiest motorway in the UK, unsurprisingly, is the M25, with the M62 a very dishonourable second place with that as well. So yeah, for much more motoring and motorsport news, do keep it tuned here to themotoringchronicle.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell as well, and we'll see you very soon.